Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ryan from Mama's Got a Budget, and thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes. I had some gummy worms. I worked on my budget. Calmed down. I posted an Instagram story, and we're back. So, I worked these numbers a little bit, and we're going to be going over my paycheck number 1 for April of 2020. This covers from March 31st to April 14th, 2020 to give you sort of a time frame. If you've never seen my channel before, I'm Ryan. I'm a single mom of 1 kid. I live at home. Actually, I'm in my mom's basement right now where I do MGB and YouTube stuff. I have my own shop where I sell cash envelopes. I majored in finance and accounting in college, and then I'm carrying it over into my adult life as we navigate these crazy times. It is super important, and I'm glad I have already developed this habit. So on my channel, we like to go through my personal finances. You guys dive deep with me, and most of the time that helps you guys with your budget, and that's what I'm here for. So if you would consider subscribing, go ahead and click the red button down below. It's free. It costs you $0. You don't even have to put it in your budget because it's free. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through my budget number 1. I'm sorry, this angle, she's not cute. Let's go ahead and go through my first paycheck for the month of April. Now, in my last video, I walked you guys through the entire month, what I'm doing. Now, I like to go ahead and take those bills, and since I get paid twice a month, I like to divide them sometimes by 2. Okay, so let's start over here. Again, we are working off of my budget pack. This is available, not in this print, but the same download is available with a different print. In my Etsy and Shopify shops, I'll have links down below to it. So, turn the page, coming right from your debt tracker and everything that we went over at the end of the last video. We're gonna turn the page now. We're into the first paycheck of the month. Again, I get paid twice a month, so I have the 2 paycheck budget pack going on here, and this is my A5 Kiki K flavor. Okay, so let's start off with the income. We like to see the income first. So I have my salary here at $1558.67. Then we have other at $402.40, and then sinking funds at $150. Now, again, I put this $150 here because I'm carrying it. I'm bringing it up from the depths of my sinking funds, and I'm going to use it as cash this month. So I'm going to bring it up to income so that it can flush out as an expense. And it's budgeted, so that's why it's up here. If you guys didn't know, if in your own budget you didn't know that you'd be using something from your sinking funds or from something like that, let me slow down, then obviously you wouldn't have it up here. But if you know, like, okay, like again, this is for my son's birthday. I know my son's birthday is coming up. Let me take something from my sinking funds, move it from the actual savings sinking funds up to my income so I can flush it out and actually use that cash, and so that my budget isn't overstated by $150. So that brings my total income for this paycheck to $2,111.07. That's what I'm projecting for those 2 weeks, right? Then we go down to debt. Now I have 6 debts, but I only have balances on 3 of them. So Navient, again, is $0 because of COVID. Federally waived for the next 6 months, so I'm excited about that. So that's 0. You'll see as I move through my budget that I have zeros in here. I like seeing zeros, number 1. And number 2, I like to have it as a placeholder because there have been a couple times, like even in my 9-to-5 job where I work as a finance manager, that one thing will change for 1 month, but you got to remember to put it back for next month. And it doesn't sound like a lot of days, between the 25th and the 1st of the next month, but bitch, I forget a lot of the times. And there's been times like you walk into a meeting, you present the financials, and they're like, but I thought we're supposed to have, where's that? And they're like, oh, Ryan, can you check on that? Like giving me the death stare. I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot. I took it out last month. I didn't put it back. So I like to have it there just so I know, just so I'm in the habit. I know what's supposed to be there. If it's off, it looks a little funky, like, wait a minute. All these were full up last month. What changed? That's why. So I like to put zeros in, but if you guys have a better memory than me and you like to leave it out of your budget completely because it's a $0 line item, you do you, boo. So CarMax is up to $300. I took some of that money that I would have been paying up here in Navient and I put it on my car loan. They're still taking money freely, so whatever. So I'm gonna put a little bit extra on my car loan. That is about, let me see, how much do I usually pay, y'all? I want to say no, it's not it. 258.10. That's what it is. 258.10. So $41.90 more than I'm paying this pay period. Okay, every little bit counts. And then my platinum is $3 because it's the $3 maintenance fee, and then my Quicksilver is at $0 and Amex is $0. This is like a monthly amount that I can't get them to get rid of, but I'm glad that I came into this new year credit card debt free, so that's why a lot of these are zeros. But I do still actually have the card, so in case, I like to have it there. And then Dr. S is my dentist, and we're down to our last $50. Y'all remind me what I said I was going to do because I'm lit. So that's also going to disappear. So I'll be down to only 2 debts for real. Yeah, only 2 debts. So that brings my debt total for this paycheck. I'm projecting $353 to go out of the door off top for those debt payments. Now we have savings. It's going to get a little crooked because the tripod leg is right here. We have savings, and I have 5 savings but 4 spaces, so I combine these two here. So retirement, 63. Elijah/emergency, $321.89. Now that's bumped up a lot from what I usually do. If you guys remember from my last video, I said I was going to $700 is my total budget, and I'm doing $321.89. 100 of this was for Elijah, and 600 is for the emergency fund. I have decided to put the entire $100 into Elijah's, so I'm gonna front load Elijah's savings fund right now. So I said I was gonna put $100 in, but I gave myself 30 days. I'm gonna put that $100 in at the first of the month, so go ahead, so next pay period I don't have to worry about it. And then the other $221.89 is for the emergency fund. Automatic is unchanged at 20, and the savings challenge is, I'm on weeks 39. I said I was going to figure this out. Yeah, weeks 39 and 38, so that's $77 total, which brings my entire savings total to $481.89 for this paycheck, which is pretty good. Moving over to expenses. These are all my expenses written out. Again, I like to have them there because I forget about them sometimes. Rent is unchanged at $200. Verizon, $108.60. Geico, $72.35. And these are all of my bills. Oh no, I told you some of them aren't cut in half. So rent is cut in half. Verizon cut in half. Geico cut in half. Car wash is at $0. They're not charging for this month. Netflix is cut in half. Gym, they're not charging for. Spotify, cut in half. Swim, they're not charging for. After school is closed at $0. iPass is front loaded also at the entire $10 for the month. Dunkin' is cut in half at $15. I just loaded straight to the app. And I'm going to do $30 instead of $40 this month. So I'm going to do $15. I made myself $15 for each paycheck. Eli with sis is Elijah going to my sister's house. She is adamant about me not paying her, but I don't know, that may change. So I respected her wishes and I put a $0 in there, but like I said, I'm still putting it in my budget because it could all change in this actual column here. Unbudgeted expenses, of course, is $0 because you don't budget for them. Other expenses, $189.24. $150 of that is from the sinking funds income. That's for Elijah's birthday. His birthday is April 10th. If you guys remember from my vlogs, he's gonna be 8 years old. Can you guys believe it? So I put in $150 here because I'm thinking about getting him a bike, teach him how to ride 2 wheels. Why not? I teach him everything else. Might as well teach him how to ride 2 wheels. Although I did have to teach him how to pee standing up, and I don't know how to do that, but I won. So that $150 is gonna go in here and come out here. into the other expenses, it's around 150, I'm guessing, for the bike. I don't know. The only reason I will also say that I'm able to do this is because I had the sinking fund steadily going. You guys have seen my videos. You see I've been funding the sinking fund steadily over the past like 6-7 months. So that's how I'm able to take that chunk out of there. If this was a regular budget and we're in the times that we are right now, I probably wouldn't opt to do that, or I would opt to do something way cheaper. But I think getting him one big thing that'll actually last, that maybe he won't get tired of, will be a smarter decision. And then $39.24 of this is for that urgent care bill that I gotta go ahead and pay. And then iCloud 99 cents because Apple. That brings my total expenses up to $610.18 with everything. Okay. So then we go down here to our summary check-in. I like to do a zero-based budget, which means I like to give my income, every dollar of my income, an assignment to do. Their marching orders, where to go, create line items, send it to savings if anything is left over. That's why you see this emergency fund has an odd amount. It's because I had 89 cents. You're going in there. So I put it over there. I like to have zero at the bottom. So my income was the $2,111.07. Debt and expenses is going to be $963.18, which is the 610 plus the 353. And then my savings is just the entire total of the 481.89. So that's where we are on that page. Then you have room for cash envelopes and sinking funds, but that's on the next page. Just let me show you what I did with that. Okay, so I split it. This page down the middle. This seems to be working for everyone. I haven't got any complaints that someone has more cash envelopes or sinking funds than this. But if you do, let me know. I'll see about making these into like individual pages. I did get that question about like the covers and the calendar, I think, but I haven't gotten questions about the single pages in here. So for clothing is my first one. I went ahead and did $30. That's cut in half for the month. Haircuts is $25. I just went ahead and front loaded that, the entire $25. So next pay period, it'll be $0. Dining out, cut in half at $30. Allowance cut in half at $15. Groceries cut in half at $150. Miscellaneous and spending is cut in half at $40. Toiletries $20 in half. School lunch is $0. Because I'm not packing him lunches. I'm still making like cute little school lunch. It's actually kind of cute. Like serving him like a school lunch that I would have packed him, but he's eating it at the dining room table. It's kind of cute, but I'm not putting anything in there. That'll all be in, groceries. I did increase groceries, remember, by $30. And then work lunch I kept the same for like Uber Eats and DoorDash and stuff. If I get in a pinch, I rarely order it from there, but if I do, then it's there. And then gas is cut in half at $35, which is crazy to see. How much is gas where you live? Let me know, because I think here, last time I got it, which was like 3 days ago, I told you guys my memory. I think it was $1.89, $1.87, one of those, 87 or 89, which is, it hasn't been that cheap since like 02, literally. I'm going to the wrong side. Okay, then sinking funds. Oh, so my cash envelope total is $375. Sinking funds. So B-Day should be $0 because again, it doesn't need to be funded. It's like a luxury, if you will. And at this time, I would rather put the money towards something else. I'm gonna just drop it down here in rainy day. Okay, so B-Days is $0. Car tags cut in half at $25. Summer camp is $0. Again, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they're gonna. It doesn't start until June 7th, I think. Home is $100, and that is front loaded, I believe. Not at all. Okay, that's cut into a third. Oh, because I front loaded Elijah's. So then I'm gonna take the money that I would have put toward Elijah and put in $200 to home next time. That was my thought process with that. Okay, so that's a third. Health Front loaded at 25. Front loaded just means all up front at once. You can also do like a back load, which means at the end. Fun is at 0. All the fun is canceled. All the travel is canceled. So that's 0. Memberships is 11, kept at the same. And then rainy day, like you just saw, I put at 125, which is actually higher than what I budgeted. So that brings my total for my sinking funds to $291. I think. Let me go ahead and check that because let me get my Casio out. Casio ain't never lied. 30 plus 25 is 125 plus 125 plus 11. 316. 25, 100, 25, 11. Yeah, it's 316. Okay, so then minus 291 is 25. Okay, so I had the total right, but I wrote B days in, and it should have been 0. Okay, so that rainy day is what it was supposed to be. 100. So whiteout is getting thick. So then that's why. So now if you add it up, it's 30, 25, 100, 25, 11, 100 is 291. That's where we should be. Okay, so the 291 for the sinking funds and the 375 for the cash envelopes go on the summary page over here, which brings my net income to 0, which is exactly what we want. So I think that is all I have to share with you guys. That has been my quickest paycheck video, like budgeting video, which is weird because remember two budget videos back, I didn't stuff the envelopes on camera, and then some people were like, what are you doing? I like the cash stuffing part. Now I don't even have any cash because I can't go to the bank. So another option, since you can't go into the bank and if your ATM doesn't give out denominations of cash, you can move this amount to a separate account and then spend from there. I know a lot of cashless, cash-based budgeters kind of do that. You can go ahead and move it to a Capital One 360 account or anything like that. The only thing is you actually have to have a debit card. You would probably need a debit card, I should say, in order to spend like, you know, your cash at the grocery store or Target or the gas station or places that are open right now. You would need an actual card because you don't want to move all your money from your main account to another account, but then you don't have a card for that, but then you're still using your debit account, but then you're going to transfer the money from the savings back to your debit and it doesn't hit in time, and then you have the overdraft and everything like that. So if you have another account where you have a debit card already attached to it, that is an option for you to go ahead and still try to stay on track with your cash-based budgeting. What I'm going to do personally is just utilize my spending tracker now. So I don't usually use this because what I'm going to do personally is rely heavily on my spending tracker and making sure that I'm in line with everything. Now, I do have money that I'm carrying over from the previous month into April from my cash envelopes and everything. So I will be using that first, and then I'll go ahead and dip into my card if need be. You guys know how I'm kind of just like leery about that because this is how I got into this predicament before, which, you know, shook me to start my channel, is because I was swiping so willy-nilly. So me, myself personally, I'm going to use the cash that I already have on hand first and utilize my spending tracker heavily this month, since I can't go into the bank, and keep a close eye, making sure, okay, I told you, Elijah, you have $15 in your allowance. According to my spending tracker, you've already spent $11. Are you sure you want to spend your last $4 on this thing? Something like that, you know? So rely heavily on the tools that are provided for you in my shop. You can go ahead and do that. You can draw some lines on some paper. You can use an app or anything like that to make sure you guys stay on track, since They didn't think about us cash-based budgeters here when they decided to go close and everything. So that is it for today's video, guys. I feel like that was super quick. So let me go ahead and break it down to you. Let me move over so I can input my footage right here. My bills were, as far as my expenses and everything like that, amounted to 28.9% of my total income. That is super low for me. The biggest change being no after school care, of course, and his extracurricular activities being canceled. This dropped my percentage way down, and I was able to put it into the savings and sinking fund category, which came out to 36.61%, which is amazing for me. It's much higher than it normally is, so I'm really proud of that. 30% is kind of like the goal, but I haven't been hitting that. I've been close, but I haven't quite been hitting that every month consistently, so I'm glad that April is starting off looking really good for that. As far as debt, we're at 16.72% of my total income, and that is really low again. Large amount with that being that Navient, the student loan, is not due, and my dental bill being cut to almost nothing at $50. It's $100 less than it usually is, so I was able to play around with those numbers, and my percentage is really low for debt. And as far as my cash spending for this pay period, that amounts to 17.76% of my total income. Again, this is my $375 total that I'm kind of playing with, that I will keep a close eye on. 17.76% is a good amount. It's way below the savings, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing how this month is going to be treating you, what your numbers are looking like. This is going to be our first full 30 days of this pandemic, so things are bound to change. Don't feel bad if and when they do. Just work with your budget. Maybe don't use a pen like I did. Just use a pencil, girl, because it's gonna change. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe and leave a comment down below. We're almost at 11,000 subscribers. I cannot believe it. That is crazy to me. So go ahead and subscribe and check back for my next video where I go over my actuals for the month and we move right into paycheck number 2. I hope you guys are all doing well. I love you. Peace out.